from the results and leads as they stand, what has Bihar told us in the pulse, in the fabric? What are the 10 big takeaways that we can distill from this election? Let's put them out. Let's have that conversation. Let's discuss them point by point, step by step. Ladies and gentlemen, number one, the women's vote is a game changer now in India. That's the formula that is being learned state after state. Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Bihar is telling you that women are voting more than ever before, and they are voting more independently, which means they are also choosing, deciding who they vote for, not following the patronizing aspect of we'll vote where my husband is voting. This is the flavor of at least the coming decade for all political parties, and what a happy thing that this is happening just a few years ahead of 33% reservation in parliament. So watch out for this one. That's a huge takeaway from Bihar. The second big takeaway is that this double engine concept is becoming a factor. It's no longer a slogan. If you're thinking about who to vote for, you are genuinely thinking, does it make more sense for my state to be with the government at the center, or am I going to see more development being an opposition ruled state? This is no longer a slogan, it's a factor. Number 3 on your screens, government jobs is still an enticement for the youth and their parents. So family with young people, jobs is still a thing, especially government jobs. And the people who are promising them, you'll see more and more political parties come out with these promises. A takeaway from Bihar, and I don't think is restricted only to Bihar, but especially in Bihar. The fourth major takeaway, which is relevant, is the Congress is in trouble and is getting worse. Now, this is stating the obvious, but from the national politics point of view, we don't seem to have now a coherent opposition, and my hair have gone grey since we had to first discuss it 12 years ago. Is becoming worse and worse and worse, state after state. And history will tell you, as soon as the Congress becomes the third largest party in the state, which means it goes away from the number 2 position to 3, 4 and 5, it never comes and leads a government in the state ever again. So if you're in the Congress or vote for the Congress, support the Congress, it's emphasizing a trend of decline. That's not changing. The fifth major takeaway from this election is regional parties are still entrenched players. Now, whether it be a Nitish or it be the RJD, to the detriment of the Congress, not necessarily the BJP. Now, the BJP is not a player in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, but in Bengal it is, in Bihar it is, the Congress isn't. That's unhappy news if you are in the Congress. The fifth major takeaway from the elections is identity politics has diminished, but it's not dead. It's not over. There has been caste line voting, there has been voting on terms of religion. It is not over. Voting in terms of religion, ladies and gentlemen, is not always Muslims coming out in terms of a minority vote. It is also sometimes Hindus coming out in terms of a majority vote, which is a pattern that we probably have seen this time in Bihar. So, is it everything? No, but is it nothing? Certainly not. The seventh out of the 10. High turnout is now a sign of pro-incumbency. It is completely opposite to what we have learnt in psephology before the Modi era in politics, that the more the number the people come out and vote, that means they want change. It's the opposite. This has proved it. We've seen that in the past. We've even seen that in the general elections in the past. Number 8 out of 10 to digest from this election, which is relevant. Welfare politics is as important. I'm not calling it dole, I'm not calling it Revidi and all that, but welfare politics, especially when it comes to women welfare politics, but in general, is as important as roads, bridges, airports. People want money in their accounts. That matters. DBT, huge thing. Number 9 of 10 on your screens. Local issues over the past several elections, including in Bihar, have trumped national issues, which is telling, because the BJP was always long standing on their national strength with Narendra Modi as Prime Minister, but even at the regional state level, with state level issues, at least in these states, they've held their own. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, number 10, the Modi factor is still a core factor, not only for the BJP, but for elections in this country. for the seats that the BJP has won, and they have held on and improved their tally from last time in Bihar, a percentage of those are still being won. Percentage of those votes are still being won just on the name of Narendra Modi, not on the candidate, not on the local leadership of the party at the state level. That's what it is. Okay. So there were things we stand. How do we put the overall picture in perspective? Let's throw this back to Priya before I rope in Suleiman, Manasvi and Manish Bariyar of the BJP joining us on the broadcast. Priya Sehgal, the numbers are changing, but they just keep getting worse. We are looking at 190 potentially for the NDA. It might not hold, but that's what it says.
No, I like your 10 takeaways, Rishabh, particularly the point about how now large turnouts really mean pro-incumbency, because, that what had really got everybody confused, because the exit polls were saying a moderate lead for the NDA, but the huge turnouts, historic turnouts were, made everybody rethink, take a look at the crowd at Tejasvi's rallies. So we were calibrating, maybe, we read the numbers wrong, or we read the mood wrong, because there was, there was a lot of euphoria on the ground. I think the issues were the one that there was euphoria, and then the people calculated as to who would be the best to deliver on those issues. And the youth and the young who had come out probably made a calculation that, they would rather go for experience and past delivery track record rather than bet on Tejasvi or even Prashant Kishore for that matter. So it's interesting to see how the voters' mind has been revealed. And yes, women's vote are now becoming a very strong determining factor, I think. And the fact that the sitting government is in a position to deliver gives them that added advantage. Congress, RJD and all said Jivika Didi, but hum jab aayenge sarkar mein, these guys not only implemented it, gave them money in their hands. So Diwali time, the women had 10,000 bucks in their banks. Same thing happened in Madhya Pradesh. I remember I was there for the campaign, and just before Diwali, they'd already got 3 tranches of the Ladli Devi scheme that Shivraj Singh Chauhan had promised. So this empathy that the leaders are reaching out straight to the women, whether it is Mama or Shivraj or whatever Nitish Kumar is called on ground, has worked. The personal connect is working. Brands are mattering a lot in terms of the image that you have. Your own connect with the people is mattering a lot. Local faces are coming into play also. This is something that the BJP also will need to take into account, because winning elections on Modi's name is fine, but look at Madhya Pradesh. BJP has got a chief minister in place who is not delivering as much. The next election that may not work in his favor.